Hey, what's up friends? How's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents Scents. How are you? Today I got for you guys 10 different fragrances that will blow your mind. Different designer fragrances that for one reason or another are just... I'll have all these linked in the description. Let's not waste any time. Let's get started with a cheapie. Yes, quite cheap. And this one is 4711 Blood Orange and Basil, or technically, I guess, 4711 Aqua Colonia Blood Orange and Basil. So 4711 is really well known for a couple of things across just about their entire lineup. First thing, cheap. It's real cheap. From discounters, usually, unless it's one that's, you know, in really high demand for some reason or is just getting more difficult to find. But assuming that's not the case, really affordable. Some of them you can get like a bottle this size, legitimately, like a massive bottle for like 30 bucks. And if you get a size like this, a more normal size, even though this one's actually 170. So even a bottle this size, for a lot of 4711s, sub 30 bucks, like 20, 25. That's the first thing they're known for. And then the other thing they're known for, crap performance. Yeah, they're not really well known for having amazing performance. A lot of them are just super fresh, brisk, crisp scents that are used to, you know, energize you almost. Which this one even says right here on the front, stimulant or stimulating. So stimulating and stimulant are both on there. So that's kind of the vibe that you're gonna get from most 4711 fragrances. And Blood Orange and Basil absolutely crushes. This stuff smells amazing. Ooh, it's really good. The citrus there is lightly sweet, very lightly sweet, but it's very natural smelling, clean, fresh. It has that green around the edges, that aromatic feel from the basil, that bit of herbaceousness. It's really good. Classy, clean, fresh, brisk, enlivening, stimulating. And for the price point, that stuff is just great. Now, understand that again, this is not the type of fragrance that's gonna last a long time, that's gonna project heavily. You can spray this on hardcore if you want to. Douse yourself in it, and you're gonna smell awesome. Just don't go into it expecting Sauvage Elixir performance. After that, let us talk about this one. CH Men from Carolina Herrera. This to me feels like it's making kind of a comeback, at least like in a way, sort of like an underground comeback to an extent. There have been a couple of fragrances, actually I think like 3 fragrances kind of recently that smell similar to this, where I'm just like, wait a second, what's going on here? Like people suddenly realized, oh yeah, CH Men, you remember that one from nearly like 2 decades ago? That was a bit of a hype beast, huge compliment puller, smelled really good. It still works. But people have forgotten about CH Men. So what if we released a fragrance that smelled a lot like it, but didn't mention that it smelled a lot like it? So for example, Scalper's Boxing Club smells really similar to this one. And then More Plates, More Dates, he's a big YouTube channel, cool guy. He came out with his own fragrance line. He has one called Carbon, and I smelled that one, and it also reminds me of CH Men. And I think that's the most popular fragrance that he has done right now. So that DNA, it works. And I've said that before about this. Like I brought this one up before and been like, hey guys, this stuff still really crushes. And I'm saying it again. CH Men smells awesome. It's got just the right amount of sweetness in there, kind of a sugary aspect, a little bit of a grassiness off the top, but still works really well, and a nice, very approachable leather as it dries down. This is a great day-to-day fragrance, a great date fragrance, a nice casual scent. You can do a lot with this. Before we hop to the next fragrance, here are some codes. Use these to save money across all these different websites. So you have there fragflex.com, you have the Perfume Box, Max Aroma. Those are gonna carry a lot of different fragrances across niche brands, designer brands. And then we have also Triple Traders for cologne fragrances, and Twisted Lily to scoop up those niche scents at a discount, as well as So Avant-Garde. And I was gonna bring up Michael Malol's fragrance, Amber and Smoke, for this list, but decided not to because, you know, I work with Michael Malou. My fragrances I did in collaboration with them. South Slope, Edgewater, West Loop, Jet Black Enigma, Terra Nova. You can find those every Perfumania, every fragrance outlet in the country, or at Michael Malou's website. But that one's really good. It's kind of like Baccarat Rouge 540, given more of a smoky masculine twist to it. Super versatile, really easy to wear. So check that out too. But let's move on next to La Nuit de l'Homme Le Parfum. Not the normal La Nuit de Parfum. This one has been out for going on 15 years. Yeah, came out in 2010, so it's been a minute. And I feel like for most of that time, this has been kind of an under the radar banger because it never got the level of hype that the original La Nuit de l'Homme got. But this stuff smells awesome. It has a great fruity sweetness when you spray it on. Also has in here pepper, lavender, and vanilla. It's a great date night fragrance, great evening fragrance, fall and wintertime scent. It's got better longevity than La Nuit de l'Homme Eau de Toilette, which you would expect, but it does. The performance on it is better than La Nuit de l'Homme Eau de Toilette. It's just as big of a compliment puller as that one. And yeah, nobody is wearing this at this point. So it can be one of your like secret weapon type of fragrances. One of the ones that you pull out from time to time when you want something nobody else is wearing, but still has that designer sensibility. Let's talk next about, one of my favorites, Luna Rossa Black. This one may not get that mainstream love. That's gonna be Luna Rossa Ocean. You know, that's where Prada has put all their eggs and that's their best-selling fragrance. So fair play to them. That's what's making the money right now, but this one's my favorite. This ambery tonka sweetness that it has is just magnificent. This stuff will set you apart. It's classy, it's sexy, it's warm, it smells unique. It has angelica as one of the notes in there as well, a touch of citrus, but you don't get a whole lot of that. You get a little patchouli as well. One way you could describe this, as I've described it, a bunch of people have described it this way, is a little bit of Midnight in Paris, a little bit of Bulgari Black, a little bit of Luna Rossa Sport, put it in a blender, boom, there you go. But it does stand out on its own. If you spray this on side by side with any of those, it does not smell the same as them, but it could remind you of them, give you some similar vibes, and I think it, again, just smells absolutely amazing. So Luna Rossa Black, this stuff, gotta get it. If that ends up, you know, discontinued and the stock runs dry on that, the price is gonna skyrocket. And understand, I am not giving you investment advice. You know, that could be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever. But I feel like that's one of the scents that that's gonna happen with. Let's go next to Platinum Egoiste from Chanel. I feel like this is one of those fragrances, one of those designer fragrances that just exemplifies a classy, fresh scent profile. It has lavender, geranium, rosemary, and neroli as some of the notes in the fragrance, along with oak moss, vetiver, cedar, a lot of woody notes in there. So it's fresh, aromatic, a little woodsy, fresh spices in there also. Has a barbershop quality to it. That cleanliness that's in here is just super gentlemanly, sophisticated, elegant, but with amazing day-to-day usability. This is that type of scent that realistically you could wear whenever you want, because during the winter, this is gonna come across fresher, a little bit brisker, even take on a slight icy scent profile to it. And then in summer, it's gonna have a little more sweetness that creeps out as the heat ramps up. Awesome stuff. It's going to appeal more to guys probably middle-aged and older. Younger guys probably gonna gravitate more toward something a bit sweeter, more modern smelling. That did come out in the early 90s. But it's still really, really good. Okay, let's keep it classy with the new Vetiver Parfum from Guerlain. Gonna be probably a little hard to find this right now as of this video for a decent price. So that is potentially a bit frustrating. And you do have to enjoy Vetiver to like this one. I know, it's insane. Wait a sec, you're telling me that if I hate Vetiver as a note, I'm not gonna enjoy this new Guerlain? Vetiver Parfum? Stupid, why would they do that? So yes, you have to like Vetiver, and I like Vetiver, so hey, there we go. And this stuff, for me, rips. It is really good, but I am a fan of the other Guerlain Vetiver fragrances as well. And I would say, if you're familiar with those, well, how do you like them? If you like them, ooh, let me introduce you to this. If you don't like Vetiver Eau de Toilette, for example, then Just skip over to the next fragrance, probably. This one has a very faint hint of warm sweetness to it. Tonka in there has a bit of smoke that comes through, not a huge amount. And the vetiver that's in here, while it is deep and rich, it doesn't come across with any funky aspects to me. You know, that little sweetness that's in there helps kind of smooth that out a little bit, but it is decently heavy. Yeah, it lasts a long time. The projection is pretty good too. Not like apocalyptic, but it's solid. But it lasts a long time. So this is one of those ones, especially if it's a little bit hot out, I would go something else. But fall, winter time, super classy, smells amazing. Talking about smelling amazing, the scent Elixir, that smells amazing too. Red pepper, lavender, and sandalwood. Pretty simple note breakdown. Great performance, warm, sweet, touch of spice from that chili off the top. Little similar to the scent Magnetic that came before this one, but I think this one may even grab attention a bit more because that performance is quite good here. And even though it is not an official note, you're definitely gonna pick up some vanilla vibes from this one, which is the way a lot of modern fragrances are done right now. Vanilla forward, especially if we're talking fall and wintertime scents, this has that as well. And actually a little more spice in there also. I know it says red chili, but you pick up a bit of warm spiciness as it dries down, even so, through the mid into the base. It's been a minute since we've had some black bottles. Let's fix that with Brioni Eau de Parfum Intense. I have brought this fragrance up from time to time on the channel, and I bring it up once more. This is another scent that is way under the radar. If we're talking about what your average person knows about, what your average person is wearing, and man, will it set you apart. Tangerine, bergamot, and apple in the opening. Really sweet, super appealing, grabs your attention like that. Legitimately, every time I talk about this fragrance, I end up spraying it on a tester strip. You can check, I'm pretty sure every time I do. Why is that? Because I want to smell the opening. It's addictive. There's also oud in here, patchouli and vanilla, so that fruity sweetness does eventually give way to a more warm, masculine sweetness that still maintains a nice elegance to it. I mean, it's really just a top-notch scent through and through. And the performance here is very good without bordering into abrasive. So great stuff there. And after that, we'll do Stronger With You Tobacco. The Wacky Tobacco. This one is an annual Middle Eastern exclusive, which means in the US, I mean, you're pretty much gonna be trying to find this at discounters, essentially. Same as with Stronger With You Leather, Oud, and Amber. Any guess what the next one will be? Let's see, what is it? What would it be? You got Amber, Oud, Leather, and Tobacco. Absolutely has a booze note to it, so I wouldn't think they'd do that. It's already got kind of a caramel vibe to some of the flankers. I wonder if they just copy like the One Luminous Night and give it dates as a main note, like really amplify that or something. Let me know what you guys think. So Stronger With You Tobacco is, as I said, an exclusive edition, Middle Eastern exclusive. And essentially, I mean, it is what it says it is. They take Stronger With You and they add in a dollop of sweet tobacco. And the stuff smells really, really good. Nice little sparkle off the top, very sweet immediately, good performance there. Very rich and has a touch of underlying woodiness to it. That is gonna be one of the better Stronger With You flankers out there, and one of the better exclusives as well. The main issue with that is going to be being able to find it for a decent price. Oh, big performance too. And let's finish with the blue fragrance, Polo Blue Gold Blend. It's been a while since I've talked about that one. So this is one of those blue fragrances that does a really good job at mixing both blue fragrance wearability, versatility, that freshness, that really easygoing aspect that you expect from a blue fragrance with a more slightly refined, classy edge. So you have ginger in here, you have citrus, you have melon. Again, that's gonna be all that freshness off the top that really grabs your attention as soon as you spray it on, and the opening here does smell great. But then as it dries down, you've got incense, amber, and patchouli. So you have more of that warmth as it dries down. So you get something that works really well as a daytime or evening scent, either one. And for me, this is one of the better Polo Blue flankers. I think this stuff just ticks all the right boxes, does everything just how you'd want. And that one will wrap us up. So there we go, guys. Thank you for hanging with me. Again, all these linked in the description in case you want to check them out. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.